So I've been looking around online at the hashtag RIPDoctorWho, and apparently the overnight ratings were confirmed for Lucky Day, which was the most recent Doctor Who episode coming from the Radio Times. That's a publication in the UK. The fourth episode of the latest season of Doctor Who aired last night, Saturday the 3rd of May, on BBC One at 7:10 p.m. and has achieved an overnight audience of 1.5 million, which apparently is a historic low for Doctor Who. The viewership figure isn't a consolidated one and doesn't include iPlayer, where it debuted at 8 a.m. on Saturday prior to its BBC One broadcast. That consolidated figure, which takes into account catch-up and devices also, will be published at a later date. And everyone is jumping up and down on these ratings and shouting from the rooftops, Doctor Who is dead, Doctor Who is dead, Doctor Who is dead. I hate to break this to you, but overnight ratings don't prove jack fucking shit anymore. And here's another article here from the Mirror. Doctor Who suffers huge ratings will amid BBC return, and fans are making same comment. If we scroll down to here, according to TV Zone, the sci-fi series was beaten by the Gladiators final on Saturday night, with the reality competition being watched by a whopping 2.9 million viewers. While Doctor Who has garnered a cult following since it first aired in 1963, many fans have been making the same comment, that the drop in views is down to the show landing on BBC iPlayer earlier in the day. One Doctor Who fan said, quote, "This doesn't bother me because so many people have watched it on BBC iPlayer earlier in the day. Those ratings will be the important ones, I think," end quote. Another person wrote, "As it's on iPlayer from the morning, I guess people watch on there," while a third tweeted, quote, that's what happens when you ridiculously release it on iPlayer early." And another person added, quote, "Concerning it as a joint iPlayer BBC One release, it makes reporting the overnight figures a bit one-sided, with the 7-day, 28-day release that adds iPlayer not getting that much publicity." But this is not the first time the BBC show has dealt a similar blow. Last year it was reported that all 8 episodes of the 14th series was averaging 2 million overnight views. A BBC spokesman told The Times last year that overnight ratings are not an indication of the popularity of a TV show. They said, quote, "Overnight ratings no longer provide an accurate picture of all those who watch drama in an on-demand world," end quote. They added, "This season of Doctor Who premiered on iPlayer nearly 24 hours before broadcast, and episode 1 has already been viewed by nearly 6 million viewers and continues to grow. Doctor Who remains one of the most watched programs on iPlayer and is the BBC's top drama for under 35s this year, making it one of the biggest programs of the demographic across all streamers and broadcasters," they continued. And this was further echoed by showrunner Russell T Davies. Speaking to the Radio Times, he said, quote, "I'm very proud of the season thus far. You know, they might not be the ratings we'd love." He added, quote, "We always want higher, but they are building over the 28-day period. Episode 1 Space Babies is already up to 5.6 million and counting, so it is getting there." He went on to add, "I was brought back in to bring in a youthful audience. That's been massively successful. The audience no one ever gets are the under 30s. He then went on to say, "They just don't watch television anymore, but those figures are astronomical for Doctor Who. It's their top program in that bracket," end quote. And yes, they have a point in the sense that, you know, people are either just waiting to just stream the show outright, and in a lot of cases what many people are doing now, and this is a very real phenomena, and this is one that we can debate all day long. It works for some shows but not others. What a lot of people are choosing to do, and I shouldn't say a lot, I should say some people, not a lot of people. How many people are waiting for all of the episodes to be released onto streaming? That way they can just binge it all in like a day or two. Now, that was the defense that was used for Star Wars Skeleton Crew on Disney Plus, and why the Nielsen ratings on that show were very, very low. To put it into perspective, Star Wars Skeleton Crew never cracked the top 10 of Nielsen streaming ratings, even when the first 2 episodes dropped. And everyone and their mother at the time was saying, everybody's just waiting to binge the show, blah, 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 blah. Well, episode 8 of Star Wars Skeleton Crew came and went, the season finale, and the binge watchers never showed up because Star Wars Skeleton Crew still didn't crack the top 10 of the Nielsen streaming ratings. So again, if you're just focusing on the overnight ratings for Doctor Who, you're refusing to take into account that the new episodes are premiering on a streaming service hours before they premiere on the BBC. So if I can watch the brand new episode of Doctor Who earlier in the day, I don't have to wait for 7 p.m. prime time. Why don't I just watch it earlier in the day, and then it airs on the BBC? Well, I've already watched it on streaming. I'm just going to go on elsewhere. Not only that, Disney also does not release their own streaming ratings, so we don't know how Doctor Who is doing on Disney Plus. But again, there will continue to be the naysayers, and what I will say is this: low ratings will not kill Doctor Who. What will kill Doctor Who is the increase in production costs. Okay, if you compare Doctor Who even back to the David Tennant era, if you had a sci-fi series on television, you could get away with having quote unquote lo-fi special effects because you're making a sci-fi show, but you're making it on television. Therefore, your budgets are going to be smaller for making a TV show rather than making a movie, because a TV show you have to make significantly more episodes than just 1 2 to 2.5 hour movie. The problem that has been happening for the last probably 10 years or so, since about the mid-2010s, is that now everyone expects like movie quality special effects within these TV shows. So what's happening, just like with The Mandalorian, just like with Star Wars Skeleton Crew, okay, just like with Doctor Who, these shows are only releasing with 8 episodes a season. And I believe The Mandalorian, Disney came out and proclaimed that the first season of The Mandalorian, I believe, cost anywhere from $10 to $12 million an episode for just the first season, with a significant chunk of that probably just going right to the special effects. That's probably where most of the money for Doctor Who is going. And because they can't do full seasons anymore because of all these increases in special effects, because we must have movie-level special effects in TV budgets, it puts an insane amount of pressure on these 8 to 10 episode seasons, with every episode being a banger, which statistically is not possible. Not every episode can come out and be the greatest episode of Doctor Who ever made. That's not going to happen. So now that you're producing even less episodes, you're putting even more pressure on those episodes to deliver. If those episodes are middle of the road at best, if it was a traditional season of Doctor Who, anywhere from 13 to 16 episodes a season, I'm just referring to New Who. I'm not referring to, I understand with classic Doctor Who, I mean, there were like 30, 40 episode seasons. But, with New Who under like the Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, and Matt Smith era, the seasons could range anywhere from 13 to 16 episodes a season. If a few episodes came out that were middle of the road at best, it wasn't the end of the world because there were so many episodes being produced in the season. But now with the Shudigawa era, it's only 8 episodes. Therefore, those 8 episodes must all be bangers. So if even one episode is bad, everyone's going to feel like they're wasting their time, and that is what's actually killing Doctor Who. They need to make Doctor Who cheap again. They need to go back to doing lo-fi special effects. That way they can increase the episode count. That way, God forbid, if an episode comes out, and as I said, it's very middle of the road at best, having a few middle of the road episodes in a standard television season is not the end of the world because of how many episodes are typically in the season. But you cut that episode number down to just 8 or 10. You better make all killer and no filler. You make even one episode that is filler, God fucking help you. That is what's actually killing Doctor Who. It's not these low ratings. Low ratings don't mean jack fucking shit in an on-demand world. They are right about that. This was the same argument that was being made with the CW and the Arrowverse shows. Oh, the CW Arrowverse shows, only like 15 people are actually watching that week to week to week. But again, the live TV ratings for the CW didn't matter because they were making money in other ways, and that's how those shows survived even with traditional seasons. So for everyone coming out and proclaiming Doctor Who is dead because of overnight viewing figures, you're not looking at the whole picture because you're refusing to look at the whole picture because it goes against your fucking narrative.